What is it about the US presidential election that really interests you? Is it the economic policies of Barack Obama and Mitt Romney? Or is it the clothes their wives wear? All those millions of Google searches you make every day in different cities and in different states paint a revealing portrait of the electorate. Seth Stephens-Davidowitz has been analysing just what you've been searching. He's a doctoral candidate at Harvard University. He joins us tonight from New York. Seth, thanks very much for being with us. So tell us, what are people Googling most about Republican Paul Ryan? Is it his policies or is it his physique?
His physique seems to be of a lot more interest to the American public than his policies. Paul Ryan shirtless is Googled 9 times more often than Paul Ryan budget, for example.
Do you have any other examples of Google searches like that? I mean, are people looking for the superficial or the substantial?
They're definitely looking for the superficial rather than substantial in comparison to what they tell pollsters. So, for example, they're very interested in Mitt Romney's underwear, for example. Some Mormons devout Mormons wear temple garments, so people are curious whether he's wearing that. As you said, with the spouses, they tend to comment about their appearance, their dresses, fashion, etc.
So what makes your study of Google searches more revealing than an opinion poll?
People lie to surveys. People don't tell pollsters what they think pollsters want to hear, not their actual thoughts and potential behaviors. So, for example, 70% of people who won't vote will tell pollsters that they are certain to vote. People do not want to admit things like that they don't vote. On Google, people have been shown to be very, very honest. And by analyzing aggregate anonymous Google data, we can often get a more revealing picture of the electorate.
And how do you analyze all this data?
Computers, statistics, math, etc., and plug it in there and see what happens.
Now, in the 2008 election, you made a link, didn't you, between Google searches and votes actually cast for Barack Obama?
Yeah, one of the places Google searches actually are most useful, I think, is in predicting turnout. As I said, people don't like to admit that they have no intention to vote, but people will type in Google how to vote, where to vote, voting locations. This turns out to be a more accurate predictor of where turnout's going to be high or low. So in 2008, we could get a very strong predictor of where turnout was going to be high, and some places, for example, where African-American turnout was very, very high, and it really, really helped Obama, that would have been clear on Google.
But you found out something interesting about where votes were low for Barack Obama, didn't you? What was that? Yeah,
so there are a couple of things I found. One is the effects of racism in the 2008 election. Obama did a lot worse than expected in places in which racist searches were very high. And there also seems to have been an effect of rumors at the last minute. So if you look at searches for Obama Muslim and you kind of crunch the numbers, there is evidence that in the last couple days he might have lost 1 or 2 percentage points in many states from these rumors.
So based on what you're doing, who's going to win, do you think? Just to put you on the spot
I don't know if I can say who's going to win to any great degree of certainty. I will say the turnout effect thus far looks good for Obama. There is some concern that African-American turnout will go down to its 2004 levels rather than its 2008 levels. The Google search data thus far say that the composition of the electorate will look pretty much like its 2008, like the 2008 electorate, which was favorable to Obama.
And do you think both campaigns are studying Google searches in the swing state markets right now? And if not, should they be?
They definitely should be. There's a lot of information, powerful information in this data set. They could potentially have at every town and every city in every swing state, they could be mapping interest in voting behavior. They could have predictions of turnout. They could use this to allocate their voter mobilization efforts. They could see where stories are catching on and use that to maximize advertising effects. So there's definitely tons of stuff they can use this data for.
Seth, and I bet they are listening to you right now. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks so much for having me, Laura.